Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Innkeeper, and today I would like to welcome you all back to City Skylines, the city of Drunkards, right here. Wow, that's a really cool zoom out. I'm feeling that, was really nice. It's so dense, look at this. The high density is really showing itself off ever so slightly. Last episode, we expanded upon our new high density residential zone, which is quite nice, as well as adding a few low density houses right here, right next to the water. Look at that, isn't that nice? Wow, that needs to change. I hate how it pokes out slightly there. It would look really cool if those little bits of rock weren't poking out. I'll be able to get that done later on, hopefully. Wow, that's school right there, just showing its tower. Really cool to see. Yes, look at this. It's fantastic. Also, I fixed our little highway, motorway intersection thing here. It looks pretty cool. Our overpass, really shimmering right there. A lot more space has been allocated to it. I split up the roads right here and added these little ramps, or on and off ramps. They don't look great just because for some reason this one won't properly connect, so it looks a little bit asymmetrical, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. It kind of is the end of the world now that I'm looking at it from here. God, that's horrible looking. At least when you directly look at it from a distance, it looks pretty cool because it's like a nice little landmark for our roads. There we are. Slightly more interesting than just sort of adding these things, even though they're efficient, kind of. Actually proving to be quite inefficient considering how much people is coming in and out of it, how many people are coming in and out of it. That's what I'm sort of worried about this, because we only have sort of little ramps. I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of congestion. Not only that, but how many on and offs there are. It's a little bit awkward. Not to mention the fact that you pretty much have to go just around this really sharp bend, which means they're probably going to slow down on the motorway, of course. There is only one way to go that way, so I guess if they stay there, they should be nice and fine. I would really prefer it if that lane, at least until it got past this little point, was just turn right so that everyone would keep going on this lane. Because some people are probably going to stay on the far right lane and not turn right. It just seems inefficient to me, kind of pointless. We may as well use up all those 3 lanes. Of course, at the same time, kind of a pain in the ass to transition from the side of the road from this little point right here. There we are. Why the middle? Okay, yeah, this one lets you just completely turn left, but I imagine that might be due to the fact that the road is much larger, and also the positioning of it. We have looked at this and it does seem a little bit quite sharp. Also, there's a grate right there, which doesn't make any sense. Why is there a grate right there? That doesn't work out. Right, ignore that. That's just part of the textures. Yes, let's stop mucking around and start playing around. Merv is doing some fine stuff right now. So before I started today's pause, I realized there's a lot of dead people. Yes, and they're in great need of being transported. Now, I've looked around. This cemetery is fine. They've got 1,000 more bodies to store, but when I look at this little screen right here, death care, apparently it's not going amazingly well. So we need to probably add ourselves a crematorium, I feel, to just sort of slow down the amount of deaths that we have coming in. Now, it seems to me like most of the deaths are on this little island right here, and I don't think it's a bad idea to have a few of these. Probably just 2, really. Maybe a couple, yeah. We'll have 2 of them. There's a sauna right there we might want to get. So let's see. 720 per week, 25 grand at upfront cost. Patient capacity at 105. What do you mean 105? There's a capacity for this? What? We've only got space for 105 ashes, apparently, which we don't even give away. Interesting. Right. Well, these buildings are... Wow, that's much smaller than I was anticipating. I thought it was going to be this massive complex, but no, apparently that's not the case. We should put the crematorium on... I forgot the layout here. What's going on right there? Well, they should be able to come down and do their own thing around this area. Come back around. So we should be fine with crematorium right around here. I like the idea of that. So that's what we're going to do. Then again, we could put it right next to the... I don't think putting it there is going to work out, since this guy's already collecting bodies. I think it makes a little bit more sense if perhaps we put it a little bit further away. Maybe this little spot right there. So hopefully, like, people are happy that there's apparently a place where we basically burn bodies nearby. Great. Probably smells nice and fresh. Look at that. Fantastic. I hate how that gate doesn't meet the end of that building right there. That really annoys the hell out of me. That building had none of it. Look, there's a dead person ready for transport. That's good. We can get them straight away. Look at that. Whoa. People actually do bring them out like that? Okay, interesting. It's a shame they can only go this way, though, but they should just turn around, I imagine, yeah. Well, some of them should, anyway. But there we go. We should hopefully get our bodies picked up there. We're going to have another one on the other side. Unfortunately, they are quite expensive, but we do have a little bit of an issue on our hands. So I think it makes sense to just deal with it now rather than face the consequences of zombies resurrecting from the dead. It sounds like a better idea, in my opinion. Obviously, in my opinion, of course. Do we want to put it right next to the hospital? I think we really need to move that hospital at some point. I'm not feeling like it right now, but later on, it does make a little bit of sense. Let's put one right there. Well, then again, they've got to go all the way back round. Does that matter that much? Do they have to go all the way back round? I think I set this up so they can go wherever they want. So we should be fine. Can they come back round here? Can't really tell. It's so bloody snowy. We need to deal with that. Well, then again, it seems to be mostly fine. There's a few bodies over here as well that apparently, excuse me, need to be catered to. Let's check the happiness right now. Maybe we can push some taxes up. Ooh, the offices are very happy right now. Well, we can change that very easily. There we go. We'll go up to 12%. Let's not go up too sharply. Try and get a little bit more money out of them. So 12%. Who else is happy? We need to make them unhappy. Industrial happiness is quite high. Unfortunately, residential happiness isn't that great. Look at that little grin right there. You can see it's being really forced. We need to change that ever so slightly. Do we? How much money do we make? Most of it's from residential. We make bugger all from office sections right now. I'm not too sure if maybe we'll eventually get some sort of large influx, but it seems to be kind of irrelevant. Our industrial as well. Industrial doesn't seem to be working out that well. We get a little bit from the vehicles, services, there we go. We get a little bit from vehicles, apparently. I'm just trying to improve our monthly income. It seems to be okay now, so I guess we don't need to muck around with too much of this, although I do feel like lowering the high density taxes just ever so slightly, just to improve the happiness, although I feel like it's going to shoot down by next year. Well, couple grand. We will see. It is starting to come down. But it might be able to, you know, more people might move in. Might work out. We will see. Speaking of moving in, we have deaf people right there. Not really moving in. Moving out is probably the better thing to say right there. Let's get ourselves a simple cemetery. I like it right there, although I don't like the fact that it is ever so slightly off. But I think it's barely noticeable, and I don't think I'm going to pay much attention to it anyway. Now what we're going to do is get the little paintbrush right here. I completely forgot to get a timer again. What timer? I'm not too sure what you're on about. Anyway, shit, I should have stayed on that residential view. Then it would be like I never left, even though it's obviously that I left. Obvious that I left, not obviously that I left. I seem to be slurring a lot today. It's really annoying me. Right, let's just get ourselves some more residential since it seems to be in light demand. Now it looks like the industry is coming up. Do we wish to expand down here a little bit more? How's the traffic doing? We should check our traffic reports in just a second right here. Before we do that, let's just accept... We don't want anyone in the middle right there. That would look quite horrible. So we just get more people. As many... Oh, none around there, please. Some more down here. So that seems to be filling up most of the zones, although we could do with a few on this side. Same over here, actually. There we go. Just a pinch, not too close to the main areas right here. Now, mostly, it seems to be industry that we're looking for. How's the worker shortage doing? It seems to be going fairly well. I imagine most places are probably requiring higher skilled labor. Looks like that's definitely the case. Wow, you've got 13 educated workers and you only need 12. That's a little bit insane. Some places need more. You've got an educated worker, you don't need any. Wow, you even got a highly educated worker and you don't need any. So this guy, he's the person that just, I don't know, graduates from fucking what the hell? See, people need to stop dying. My healthcare coverage is amazing. Okay, it's not great. Right? It's really bad, actually. Might want to change that ever so slightly. Then again, I'm not even looking at the healthcare. There we go. We could probably do with a healthcare center down here. Maybe just a small clinic covering this area. Covering this area. There we are. Just thought I'd pronunciate right there. Do we wish to expand into our oil baron industry to make ourselves a nice amount of money? Is that a good idea? Maybe not yet. I feel like there's a better idea once we expand onto this area. Although I will get the industry in first before I start expanding. I just want to take up this chunk so that I can get the train hooked up. This should be able to help out a little bit more with our industry. The same thing with over here as well. Maybe lower the amount of cargo vehicles coming in. Wow. This doesn't look good, does it? We're bound to change this later. Well, sooner or later. How we do it, though, it's going to be quite interesting. It might require us having ourselves another roundabout around here, or some sort of anti-congestion area. Everyone seems to be going left. There's quite a few people going left by the looks of things. So what we might want to do is just change the way this is laid out. This will probably mean that we destroy quite a few houses. I don't really care about the trams anymore, to be honest. I should just completely disregard them. I will probably do so later on. Do we wish to change this into a highway? I don't think there's much point. So we're just going to make this a one-way road. This is going to stretch out... It shouldn't curve. Why is it curving? Oh, probably because this is here. There we go. That makes sense. So if we change it so it goes across... Do we want to do it the other way? Since it seems to be more people coming off there than... Oh, no, because when a lot of people... How many people are coming off? Most people are going that way by the looks of things. So it means it might be just beneficial for us to start off going this way instead. Although this shouldn't really be one way. This should be either or. I'm not sure why I'm having trouble there. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Why am I having trouble here? I mean, it's slightly off again. It really annoys me when things are slightly off. Stop restricting my placements. Okay, that should be fine. Now what we can do is upgrade them to one-way roads. Here and here. And then we just change the direction. So, this way. And on this one, it should be the other way. I think. Yep, looks good to me. Now, as for the tram network, this is going to be a little bit of a bother. I might just get rid of the tram network altogether. It doesn't seem to be too beneficial for us. If we check the... Let's see, it's not traffic, is it? Ah, here we go. 552 per week out of 20,000. Not really that beneficial for us. We can check our earnings from it, however. 364. It's significant, I would say. And we can definitely expand upon it. That's the thing. It's just trams don't seem to be the best way to do it. I'd rather have a train or buses, maybe even airports. Probably not airports. I'm not really not too far away from each other for that. Boats, perhaps? Yeah, boats could probably do the job since we are of islands. I think it makes sense. Or, of course, the metro, which would be infinitely better, even though it's significantly more expensive. I do think getting rid of this is probably a good idea. So, I think I'm going to demolish it. It probably just needs a rework. And I think having it down here is a bad idea, especially since it's around a very busy area. And they tend to take up so much space. So, you know what? I'm going to get rid of them. It does mean, however, we're going to have 500 other people, which will be quite interesting. We need to change our roads now, though. So if we just change this to... Oh, yeah, another good thing about this is that the roads don't have to be those shoddy ones that we previously had. We're making this into highway. I don't want to do that. Whoa, what did I just do? Apparently, I upgraded that road. Okay, just destroyed some houses in the process. Sorry, we completely screwed up our planning permission. I do apologize. We built the wrong road in the wrong area. This is an absolute travesty. I do apologize. Right, let's get rid of these roads. Yeah, all these tram networks need to be pretty much demolished. So we come down here. We do the same thing along this point. I mean, we can go to our little section right here and just completely demolish the trams if I can. Can I delete them at all? Doesn't seem like it. It looks like I'm going to need one of these before I can even get them deleted. That's not how it works, right? That sounds really stupid if that's how it works. Okay, that's how it works, right? It's fine, we can get rid of them. Otherwise, they're going to appear there. I just wasted 40 grand right there because apparently I didn't do things in the correct order. Even though there shouldn't be an order, but unfortunately this is going to lower the density. It seems to be making people rather unhappy. But you know what? Those people that relied on this tram system, too bad. Man, if I said that to myself about buses when I was 18, my God, I'd be very unhappy. Even though I didn't exactly like the bus. I mean, it was a nice bus. We have pretty good buses over here. When, well, I think we do. Now, I'm not really being too well-versed in the buses around the world. But they seem to be pretty good over here. Right, now we can get rid of that. Now it's just finding out which roads have all those tram lines on it. Pretty much most of them. Is it going to matter too much? It seems like people are going to just complain about it. Probably feels like a massive waste of time getting rid of these trams, but it just feels right. We'll get rid of this as well. I didn't want to do that. Okay. I just wish to upgrade the road. Instead, I've destroyed more homes and houses. I am a horrible human being. Those houses have been there for a while as well. You're a murderer of homes, Innkeeper. Murderer of homes. Innkeeper, murderer of homes. I like it. I don't. I mean, my name all of a sudden now has murderer associated with it. It's very bad. So it looks like my fix hasn't really worked out, mostly because of the traffic lights. You're still going that way, unfortunately. I mean, I could change it, so it's either or. They can go any way they wish to. Will they ever need to go that way? And if they do, there are several other ways to do it. Maybe it's just a case of making both of these one-way roads pointing in this direction. Let's see how that works. If it works. I mean, the problem is, why the hell is some of you coming down here? They're going down that way when they could easily come down this road. Just delete this. Do we delete that? Well, no, we want to make sure there are ways for them to get around here. It looks like this is already becoming a little bit of a congestion nightmare. I think that's really the problem. It's this little area, isn't it? We could turn this into a more highway-based one-way system. Lots of people seem to be coming in here. So what we could do is just have 2 roads associated with it. Will it matter? I don't know, will it? I would assume they would go that way, no matter what. The only problem is, of course, the traffic lights. Which seems to still be a bit of a bother. Oh, I didn't want to delete that at all, okay. We can change this to one way. And this one to one way. Changing the system so it goes this way. Maybe that will help out ever so slightly. Well, there seems to be traffic lights over here now, which is not what I want, especially on a motorway. It's going to turn it into a magic roundabout. This is always about the time where I start to have huge problems with my traffic. This area seems to be fine. How's it going over here? It's okay. We need more industry. How is everything going on down here? Looks like everything is working out, so I think having more industry along this line is a good idea, as well as probably filling up this little chunk. There we go. Having some up here would be nice. Just that little chunk right there. Some more along here. There we are, lovely. So that should hopefully fulfill the industrial demands. Although we might not have enough workers around here. I guess we're going to find out. It would be nice if we could also use this as a passenger service. That's why we need motorways. I need to get those set up. Not motorways, undergrounds. What am I trying to say? Tram, underground, metro? That's the metro. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, so how's this going? We need to change these to highways. That's what we need to do. Alright, there we go. So, change the highway. How's that worked out? Seems to be a little bit better. Well, I'm not too sure if that has something to do with this. We could change this to highway now, since it pretty much is a highway. At this point, it should really just be a part of this system, which is why I feel it would make more sense to just have a roundabout here, a highway-based one anyway. Still a tram network right here that we need to cut off. I guess we'll do that while we try and figure out our traffic issues. Any more tram networks that are showing up? I'm too lazy to get rid of them all. That's the problem. See, this section could definitely work out with a roundabout. There we go. There we are. I mean, it solves all problems, obviously. Yeah, could it? Or could it just do with a bridge going up, and then these two can sort of connect to it in an interesting fashion? Yeah, possibly. Having a bridge going over, or maybe just an area coming around here instead to bypass it, but that's the point of that. It causes more congestion at that point. It very well may be the fact that we just need to do a little bit of redesign of this area instead. I mean, this is a little chunk that we can work around. We can make this a much larger roundabout and have it connect up to everything. Of course, we would need to remove the hospital, unfortunately. This seems to be becoming a little bit congested. I'm not sure why we don't have this as a 6-lane. Yeah, that's better. Or at least it feels like it's clearing it up slightly. Problem is, of course, just how high the traffic is in this area. There's still so many vehicles coming in. Still lining up to just go in that same direction every time. Just don't know how to solve this. What can I do? I could have... Okay. It seems to be the only problem. Everything apparently can be fixed by a roundabout, is what goes through my mind every single time. Every problem can be fixed with a roundabout. Like that. Every problem can be fixed with a roundabout, ladies and gentlemen. Every single one. Society's problems can be easily fixed by adding roundabouts. And not just traffic-wise. There we go. I'm just going to say it slowly. Just because apparently I'm having a little bit of a moment today. So we got this. Now what we can do is turn this into like 2 lanes. Can this come off and be another lane? Or should we stick it as a highway road and maybe have it just keep going and this can be a way for it to come off? And then it can connect up to here. That would bypass a few issues, I feel. Let's see how that works out, if it works out. So we've got this road right here. We've got the highway road. We've got this. Let's just stretch it all the way across, if we can. Not like that. There we go. And then have it hook up down here like this. And that might solve problems. It might make things worse. And now what we can do is just have a little exit there. If we can. Which is, it's becoming a lot less likely as time goes on, by the looks of things. Maybe it's because there's cars in the way. Right, there we go. And the car... Well, now this roundabout's going to have a few issues, obviously. If I just change this to the 6-lane road, have it come in like that. I prefer it if it came in like this. There we go. Have it come in like that. We've got the weird donut going on right there. It's fantastic. Then what we can do is we can get a highway road. I really hate how these roads curve. It's really odd. There we go. And then we can have another one come out here. If the donut gods will let me. Doesn't seem like they will. Why donut gods? Why do you besmirch my good name? Because of this little bit. Maybe it's just the case of I attach the smaller roads to it first and then it will just let me do it. Yeah, that'll probably work out. Right, there we go. Now can I upgrade these to highway roads? Yeah, cheat the system. I like it. Okay, so they should be able to come up here. Yep, and these ones should come all the way down here. Fantastic. Of course, we have this little block off right here and also it looks hideous. We should probably change this one ever so slightly. Of course, it ends up being too close to this road, which is a little bit annoying. Way too close, apparently. Come on. Okay, what about the other way around? I don't think there is a better way of doing this. The game won't let me. I could delete this. Right, there we go. And instead just connect this up a little bit differently. Is this one way up here? I think so. Which means why not just make it a highway road? I don't know why not. Anyway. Now this one comes down as a 6-lane, even though it's kind of pointless once again, because we could just not have that. Well, no, because it goes into a highway right here. But why is it a 6-lane in the first place when we could just make it a highway road? Since it seems to connect to the main highway. It's just a quicker way to get off. So there we go. Should be the other way, though. So it's all coming down there fairly quickly. Now, this point can be just a 6-lane road until we wish otherwise. Because we still want them to come back onto here as well. So it's just going to have to be 6-lane for now. This bit's going to cause a few problems. What I could do... That's the thing. Can they get back here at all? Is there any other way for them? They can come down here. Well, yeah, they can go all the way along this way and then come across, but it's not exactly the best way of doing it. Or they can come back round, come through here, and then go through this little section. We might want to make another way for them to get in here. Maybe off this road, or... That seems to be the best way to do it. There's so many houses along here, it just feels like I'm pointlessly detaching them. Almost, unless I try to... I just want to separate this bridge from them, because this is going to cause a lot of traffic, just because there are traffic lights around here. Then again, there's a lot of room. They might be okay. We need to still get this connected before I try anything. I mean, this redo is probably going to go to hell anyway. Right, there we go. Is there anything else we want to do as well? We could make a way for them to get up from here if they wish to just bypass everything. That sounds like a good idea. There we are. Not completely synced up, but that's fine. So if they want to just go onto this road and come across here, they can do so. Let's see if this even works out. It probably won't. Have I connected up everywhere? I think so. So if we go over to our traffic... Oh, Merv, you're making annoying cotton eating noises again. This area seems to be... Oh, okay, it was red a second, now it seems to be okay. This bit's not too bad. Oh, they did stop for a while there. The point is I don't want them to stop for too long. See, this point is a bit of an issue. It seems like most cars are just bypassing and going off this way. Mostly that's the issue with this highway, which means we could change that by just having another highway road follow this one and come out instead. Which means they don't have to go all the way across here, all the way across there. Yep, and as these ones that just came from here have done, they didn't go down there, they just went across this way and tried to get off. That's all they did. So making another way for them to come across, even though there is one right here, and then they can get off on this little section. But I guess they're trying to get to this bit. So how do we solve that? What's our fix? Changing where this is probably a good idea, and also the way to connect to it. It might be just a simple case of making the road come along here, and then maybe have it hook up to this eventually. It does deserve a bit of a redesign, though. So if we grab this road, and this might be absolutely horrible, but you never know. It might also be gorgeous. You have to think about it that way. It might look incredible. And then we have a road come up this way. There we are. And we'll make sure this is a straight road as well. Okay, so let's see. One right here. There. Little bit of a fit in there, but we should be able to get it in there. Oh, yeah, oh, come on. There we go. We got it. This is a game of fitting, obviously. Oh, you get a nice curve right there. No! The curve is too sudden. The curve is too sudden. Don't say that to your missus. Let's see. No, come on. I'm going back on my work now. My glory days. They are from me. Well, they are far from me now. I mean, the system's not great. I'm just trying to fix it. And I don't know exactly how to fix it. Although now this point's forever screwed over. So I'm going to have to do this again. Oh, yeah, we made a way. We got our way out. Right, now we can do a little curve. Like that. Right, there we go. Seems to be okay. Now getting this over all these buildings is going to be a little bit of a kerfuffle. But we can have another curve. And it can curve off around about here. Well, it can go off there, can't it? That's not a bad idea, really. Well, they get... Okay, yeah, so they escape from there, which means any vehicles coming from here is going to have to go all the way around, through here, up there, and yeah, that's not great. We want separate ways for them to connect around here anyway. I think it's just a case of destroying this ever so slightly. Well, not destroying it, but... we do that. I think we got it. If we destroy this, I think that's getting in the way. Yeah, it was getting in the way, okay. Right, and now... No, keep the bridge. We want the bridge, obviously. I'm not going to give up my livelihood. My livelihood is apparently about bridges. And that will be a way to get onto the main road right here, and it should be pretty good, although we need to change the direction here, apparently. What's wrong with this? Oh, I did redo it, I suppose, in the opposite direction, so I'm going to have to turn all these around now. Which is fine. Makes sense. Unless I don't, and I'm screwing myself up ever so slightly, which tends to happen. So now we should be able to... I can barely see. Oh, yeah, okay. So now vehicles should be able to come up and go out from this roundabout. Now, we want to do the same thing with this roundabout. So what we need to do is have some sort of connection. See, it's so close. That's the issue. How do we combat the issue of it being so close? I mean, this area right here, there's no other way to get off. Which means I think it's still a good idea to make another highway connection coming from this point right here. Yeah, I still think it's a good idea to do that. So we will do that. Of course, we could just make a little off-ramp, but then it crosses this bit, and I feel like that's kind of pointless. So, you know what? Yeah, just make a simple highway. We'll have it hooked up right here. So still similar to what we did before anyway. Kind of straight, though. But it means people can get out, which is nice. From this point, anyway. Filling up a lot of space, although it's quite the eyesore, I won't lie. Bridge point right here. Don't worry, I'm going to have millions of bridges. Just you wait for it. How's it going down here? Icy roads are becoming a bit of a problem, aren't they? I thought we had a snow plow or thing around it. Apparently not. Okay, that's fine. We can get one placed. I believe so. If the game will allow it. Please, game. Show me your faith. It won't allow it, apparently. Oh, come on. Right there was definitely a spot I could put it. Yeah, there we go. Just poking off. We shall destroy a town for it. It's fine. Let's just see if vehicles can actually get out. Yep, they can. Good. Yeah, we got a few icy roads just lingering around. Have we finished this? We haven't yet. Well, we have yet to finish this. What we could do... Well, vehicles coming from here aren't really going to want to get out, are they? No one's going to come down here anymore because their way to get on is going to be through this road. So, really, have we solved our traffic issues? We're about to find out. We're just waiting for the congestion to fill up because I think some of these cars were before I made the changes. We'll find out. There's still a few people waiting down there, I'm noticing. But it seems to be that we've ever so... Oh, no, there's a bit of stopping right there. I wonder why that is. Why are we slowing down at that last little point? Yeah, cars from this lane are still trying to get on. Desperately, anyway. No one's giving them any time. This is the one chance, or the one time when traffic lights would be useful. The problem is we've got highway roads all around it, and then just this 6 lane that I'm trying to deal with. I don't know how to make it into a not 6 lane, really, other than just... Well, I don't know, man. I could turn it into a 4-lane road. Will that make a difference? Not really. I don't know why I thought that would make a difference. If I change it to a highway, then it becomes one way, which is an issue. Quite the issue, anyway. Unless, of course, we just use off-ramps. So, we could just use little off-ramps to do it. I wonder how that would look. So, we have one off-ramp right there. And another one just sort of... No, that's not going to work. I'm not sure I ever thought that would work. This bit just needs to be done. Yeah, it needs a little bit of a redesign. What we'll do is we'll get rid of the houses around here. And then what we'll do is get a one-way road hooked up from there? Or is it just a case of having another bridge? God, I do not want to just do this bridge thing. I know I love my bridges. I do. But I do overdo it. And I will admit that. That's right, I admit it. I'm a fool. One here. May have to destroy this and connect that up in a bit. And one right there. May help with congestion. since they're now highway roads, we just need to turn this one around. So they come off here, come on there. So that should be okay. This point's still a bit of a problem when it comes to congestion, though. But at least they're coming on and off. Now, as for the little bit that we have right here, let's see if we can even connect it again. Probably not. Yes, we can, but it's a bit awkward. Let's delete that and see if we can get a nice little curve going. I don't think it's possible to have a nice little curve going. Look at the way that connects. That's so dodgy. It's all dodgy. Whoa, the car's going for it. Whoa, he kept going, apparently. We'll mostly probably go for a complete overhaul of this area later on. But it seems to be okay at this point. I wouldn't say it's too bad. How about down here? How's this going? Are we on the high speed? Oh, wow, we're way over time. Okay. Apparently, a little bit over time right now. That's okay. We can just unload here. Industry is a massive want right now. We're nearly at the population. I guess we'll just have more people come down here. How's the traffic doing? Wow. That's not going very well. Should we destroy this? Yes, I think we do. We destroy this and we just have this be its own little... Because this road was based on getting people around in other ways. I think it's just better to make this into any old road. Can you not? There we go. I just turned their direction around. I didn't really update them. There we go. It's got rid of the traffic lights down there. I do prefer that. It makes more sense. I mean, all the cars are going to come out here now, but that's not that bad, really. Okay, it's pretty bad. Look at that. Pretty bad. That's why you shouldn't have them coming along that much. We could make it so they come out this way instead, because there's a much longer stretch. Or there's just another way for them to get out. We could split this up. Yeah, I think splitting that up is a much better idea. So we do that, but instead just make this into... Not a one-way. Maybe we don't need to split it up. Maybe it's just fine having another way to get on. Because there's traffic lights, but they don't matter that much. There's a fire. That just happens to be right there. Poor ice cube factory. On fire. That's really going to melt the business. Right. I think it's time for us to finish off for today. Apparently rubbish collection is underway. That's good to see. I thought it was an issue just then. Industry is on the rise. And we're slowly running out of space on our main industrial sector right here. Or the Drunk Ambo industrial sector. Oh yeah, I didn't make the drunk... Did I make the Drunk Ablo area? Or was this meant... This probably was meant to be the Drunk Ablo area. Oh no, that's Drunk Ablo. There we go. Drunk Ablo Tycoon. Drunk Ablo Residential Zone. There we go. That's what we're going to do. Should we make this into a really big and high residential with another probably really big university? I don't think we should overdo it on the rubbish. Well, not on the rubbish. On the education. Just because it's still a little bit of a problem. Most people are educated, which is why we seem to be okay on the educated workers, because we're pretty much just increasing the density of these areas, which seems to be the counter to it, because that's, I guess, how it works. We haven't done much expanding over here. I've just been sorting out our roads, which unfortunately are still a bit problematic. Yeah, still not good. Need to find a way to deal with it. Mostly, I think that possibly just comes from public services, but it seems like most people come down from here, so I really don't know how to solve this issue. But it's mostly over here, so some vehicles coming down here want to go all the way down, stretch across there, which means we could just make a way for this road to connect up down here instead. It really does, I believe, need just a complete overhaul. We need to just delete these roundabouts, this one up here, and pretty much set up a system like we've got down here. Really big, easy way to interconnect to the main city. Apparently we're having power problems. Okay, we can get that sorted out very easily. Eventually we can get ourselves one of these solar power plants, maybe even a dam. People have requested that I make a dam. I need to find out how they work first, because I know you can get flooding issues with a dam. Have we got more power yet? We could definitely do with a little bit more. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing next time. I might just get it done off camera, because you probably don't want to see me doing this again, trying to diagnose an issue, when really the issue is just pretty much poor design on our part anyway, on my part. I blame you when I've done something wrong. Obviously, when I've done something correctly, I will give myself full credibility right there. Fantastic. Good to see. So yes, that's probably what will happen before then. Just completely redo this little section right here. Maybe not this bit, but we will see. I do need to have a similar highway system. Just make this bit look a lot nicer. I do like this, though. Its awkwardness, it looks cool. What with all the vehicles going around in that lot. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching me, the Innkeeper, play City Skylines, the city of drunkards. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter, for updates on my channel, and Twitch for live streams. I've been the Innkeeper. You've all been fantastic. And I'll see you all next time when I get furiously fucked out of it. In the land or the city of Drunk Ambo, apparently. There we are. Wow, that's a really weird title. Where's the proper Drunk Ablo? That's Drunk Ablo Industrial State. There we go. The city of Drunk Ablo.